Okay, so welcome everybody. This is the Dragons Gaming Club first YouTube video. So without us, they'd never feel like winners. Without them, we couldn't look so good. Just give you some brief history of Green Dragons. We've been in the Westchester, Pennsylvania area for over 10 years, and we're just a local gaming group with different levels of playing ability, and our most overall core to us is that we just want to make sure everyone's having a good time no matter what game we play, whether it be War Machine, Ninth Age, X-Wing, Armada. Literally, we play just about every game out there. So thank you for watching this in the very beginning, and let's go ahead and take a look. So this very first battle report that we have is with the Knights of Equitaine of the Ninth Age versus Orcs and Goblins. So let's see. My opponent is Ryan today, who's playing Orcs and Goblins, and on our left flank we have a what is the silly thing called? Well, anyway, he's got Night Goblins there on the hill with some Fanatics in there and their short bows. He's got a Jet launcher, which is basically like it's like a catapult, and it used to be deadly to Knights. It's not as deadly to my Armored Knights, but definitely deadly. Those are some crossbow boys that I have no idea what that thing is called anymore. It used to be called a Mangler Squid, and then off in the corner there you have a Pump Wagon. What else did he have? He had a Troll, and in the middle is his large unit of Feral Orcs that have a 5-up ward save. They has a level 2 Shaman, and his Iron Orc boss or big general boss is there. His Gargantula is sitting there in the lovely swamp, and followed by the Troll again. And then he's got Iron Boys there on the far side, and then covering up he's got another Jet launcher up in the tower with another Pump Wagon. So talking to him after the game is, why did you leave the Pump Wagon back there? He's like, I left it back there to protect my rears. And you'll see that throughout during this as to why he did it. What's he going up against? So, for the Knights of Equitaine, we have a small unit of Rail Knights with the Duke, what am I calling him? Duke Rockwolf. Hence the big rock that he's on and the wolf that he's riding. And he is in command of a unit of 9 aspiring knights, 5 mounted yeomen with nothing on them, another unit of 8 Knights of the Realm with a damsel to make that bus a unit 9 with just a standard and champion, and 2 units of archers. The one that's back a little bit has flaming arrows, followed by another bus with my BSB and another damsel in there, and a unit of the Peasant Crusaders. Now, magic-wise, where he also had a shaman in with that unit of goblins, he took the little green gods and the big green gods. I took both my level 2s out of the Path of White Magic. So for my mages, I ended up with Luminous Bolts on both of them, which is a signature spell. And one mage has the Blessing of Amhar, which I don't think I ever got off this game. No, I did get it off once this game, which gives me a target of 5+ ward save. Otherwise, it increases their ward save by 1 to a maximum of 3. And the other spell is Guiding. The other mage has Guiding Hand, which allows me to increase either their movement, weapon skill, blitz skill, or initiative, or all of them, depending on what level of the spell I do, by D3. His mages, I'm going from memory here, one of them had the evil eye. Oh, I'm sorry, no. It had stay quiet, and that's a little green god. And the other one was fix it up. And his other shaman had Adam Lads and the Great Green Hand. I think he and I did something wrong. No, what? No, he dropped Fix It Up, and he took Evil Eye. That's what it was. He took Evil Eye. So, onward to turn 1, because with Knights of Equitaine, I may occasionally call them Bretonia, we always used to give up the first turn. I actually got a roll about it, and I was pretty happy, but of course I still lost. So as you can see, he just simply moved up. He turned around and didn't do a whole heck of a lot. I do have 2 other units in reserves that have ambush. One is the Lone Green Knight model, and the other one is a unit of Knights of Forlorn that are 15 strong with a standard and champion, and that standard has the flaming banner. So magic phase, he got 7 dice. So he turns around with one of he turns around and does Evil Eye on me, but he rolls a miscast right off the bat. And he turns around, he blows him, he only does 2 wounds to himself. That's it. He puts, actually no, he put big version to get that off. Still shouldn't. Okay, so he made everything over there a hard target. That's what happened. And killed 2 of his models there, and that was it. Otherwise, when he did fire Evil Eye, he only killed a single peasant. That's it. They're meant to die. As you can see, during the shooting phase, his big gargantuan fires his web launcher, turns around, kills 4. Okay, he shot above average. He rolled above average, killed 4 of my yeomen. The one surviving yeoman's now covered in spiders, and he runs away. So now it's Equitaine's turn 1. I figured I got to throw the knights up there. They need to take one for the team, so I run them up and have them touch the Mangler Squid. I figured the 3, it's 112 points. They're going to die. They actually, 2 of them live, and he rolled well. I just rolled amazing with my saves, and that was it. They're bound to die next turn anyway. Again, just simply moved everything else up. I got 9 power dice, and let's see. I got Guiding Hand and gave my general +1 movement, and that was it. Otherwise, my yeoman failed, and the one remaining yeoman ran off the board. So what happened here? Oh, here's again movement phase. He just moved up, and then his magic phase. He does his reroll to his wounds. I let that go off. He has this ability to turn around and to use my own spells against me. So he casts Luminum Bolts. And kills 2 of my knights there. He fires again. Now that was a Git launcher. He fires again, and he hits them with the web launcher, but fails to wound anything that time. And of course, there's that lovely pump wagon running over my last 2 remaining ground knights. So in Equitaine's turn, here's a great picture of the board. I charged up with my general, who had the +1 movement. He's got that extra ward save and everything else. And he shoots at him, stands and shoots, doesn't hit anything, throws out his fanatics, but my general has fly, so he flies over the fanatics and right into them. I get 10 power dice. Again, I only kill 1 orc with luminous bolts. Wow. Guiding Hand, and they only get to do 1 wound on a troll. Whoop-de-doo. Meanwhile, he issues a challenge with his Goblin Shaman. I have to accept, and I get maximum number of results, but he's steadfast. I cause fear. He actually does run away, and I overrun right into the whatever that thing's called. He moves his pump wagon towards me, and meanwhile there's a lovely fanatic right there, and we'll get to that fanatic. That fanatic gave me fits. He was not friendly. So again, he just kind of repositions everything. He's trying to keep the trolls close to his general for his leadership. And I simply maneuver up a little bit. He gets, oh, 8 dice. He gets off the great big giant hand. Nothing I was going to do about that. And I think he rolled a miscast on that too. And put it right there. Now, he's facing a unit of knights and my peasant crusaders. Let's see. He rolls a misfire with his Git launcher. And then during close combat, of course, Duke Rockwolf just turns around and eats the that other Git launcher. And then he faces the Fanatics. So, start of Equitaine, I actually have him charge into the Arrow boys that were over there. They flee. So then I turn around and have the him charge the pump wagons. I'd rather hit the pump wagon than be hit with those 2d6. I just didn't want that to happen. So I'm like, all right, well, it's a Fanatic. It's only strength 5. I have a 4-up ward save. Got a lot of armor. I can take it. So he does 3 wounds. That little son of a gun does 3 wounds to me. I hate Fanatics. Absolutely hate Fanatics. So that's it for combat. I turn around. I position my peasant crusaders. Now, what I love about peasant crusaders, I only field them sword and board. I don't want the extra attack. I don't care about the action initiative. Is that they're stubborn. All I need them to do is hold up an enemy unit for a single turn so I can get everything else into position. So I get 11 dice. Again, Luminous Bolts, kill another 3. Then I kill another 2 because both my mages have Luminous Bolts. My general easily eats that pump wagon and then turns around and faces the rear. So the start of Goblin turn, he charges into the Crusaders. And in order to go through the Crusaders, he has to run over that Fanatic that was originally there. Well, it kills the Fanatic outright, but that Fanatic, I loved it. It killed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 orcs. It was great. Absolutely loved it. May have been 9 orcs. 9 orcs. Wow, I can count, I swear. So I absolutely loved it. It completely diminished his ranks and sets me up. He only gets 2 dice. He fails his spell. Close combat. I'm scared to even see what happens. He does a little bit more maneuvering, and there's that combat. So my Fanatics, got to give them their due, because to me, those orcs are definitely better than my Crusaders. I keep calling them Fanatics. I'm so sorry. They do manage to kill 4 orcs. However, they lost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, leaving me 1. And we found out after the game, and Ryan was kicking himself, is that he gave his general impact hits, and he forgot about it because it's a brand new item for him, which would have then killed that unit, and he may have gotten the overrun into my big bus of knights. But as it stood, because I was unaware of that rule for him, and again, we're friendly. We try to keep everyone on the reminding each other of the rules, especially since Ninth Age keeps making changes. And it's our first time with the new rule set, but we both forgot. So Equitaine turn declare charges, getting hit with a bus that's a souped up, and then into the flank with the general. And he's a eating machine. For every wound he does with his lance, he gets to roll another attack. He's got the crystal ball, so he's hitting on 2s. Typically, he's a weapon skill 7, 5 attack on the charge. Normally 4 attacks with a what does he have? He's got a blessed sword. So that's movement. And there was going to be another charge. Unfortunately, that charge failed. So set that one up for the Gargantuan, and the following turn, unfortunately, I don't have a picture of it. The Gargantuan is actually going to declare a charge into the flank of the Knights. I choose to flee, thinking that they would rally and then have the Gargantuan set up for a perfect countercharge, and unfortunately, they didn't rally and they fled right off the board. Lovely. But back to the turn we're actually on. So he issues a challenge, and my general accepts. I could have accepted with my unit champion, but I think he had some rule. No, I could have accepted my unit champion. In retrospect, I should have accepted with my unit champion with my knights. Oh well. So he turns around and my general eats him. He gets maximum number of wounds on him, which is 5 for the challenge, and that was that. The rest of the unit kills only 3 other orcs, but the big important thing is I killed his general. And by killing his general, because he had popped whatever magic item makes him stubborn for a turn, means that that unit now loses its ability to be stubborn, and that's it. Game over. So the following turn, as I said, my knights flee, a little bit more maneuvering. Perfectly set up for with the Gargantuan. It is like I couldn't ask for anything else, and there's that lone peasant crusader who actually survived. I couldn't believe that he's still alive. But unfortunately for me, that Gargantuan, whoever plays Orcs and Goblins, you need to take that critter. It is an awesome, awesome critter. So my Duke is beat up, but he's still pretty solid. And my BSB hasn't been touched. He's got a 1-up armor save, a 5-up ward save. Figure he'd be all right. No, and I declare another charge, thinking I would overrun with those other 2 units into their flank. Doesn't happen. My bowmen are shooting. They shoot the arrow boys all the way over there. I only kill 1 of them, but that Gargantuan, it's a great picture. I love turning that great big ugly spider over. He does 1 and only 1 wound to my lord, and he gets through. And he does 1 wound and only 1 wound to my BSB, but it causes 2 wounds, which kills my BSB. That was so all I have left on the board at this point is 1 character, but he's got his arrow boys, a troll, and his iron boys. So over here, I think I did win combat, but he was steadfast because he had more ranks than I did, and that was that. Unfortunately, it goes to his turn next, and all his magic is dead, so we just cut ahead to close combat, and he kills another 3 knights, leaving the 1 knight, who then proceeds to run away. He faces the upcoming bus that's coming towards him. So my turn, I charge into them, and I also run into his troll, and hopefully I'm going to overrun after I kill that troll into those orcs, into that unit of orcs, which I managed to do. There's a better picture. And so here's what happens with this combat. Is I do manage to kill him, and he rolled. I'm still trying to figure out how this happened, because I still had 1 rank versus all that and all those kills, but oh, they have bodyguard. That's what it was. So the iron boys have iron guard or bodyguard to them, so he turns around and he's steadfast and sticks that way. Otherwise, and I did 1 wound to him. He failed to wound my unit champion, and that's it. End result was a draw. If it wasn't for that Gargantuan, I had the game. Absolutely had the game. So for the MVPs for this, we have the Gargantula from the Orcs, who killed my general, my BSB, had a unit of knights flee off the board that had a damsel in it. But for me, I would have to say it was Duke Rockwolf. He popped the fanatic. He forced him to pop his fanatics, which ended up doing 9 wounds to his orcs. Granted, 3 to him later on, but still 9 wounds to that big orc block that he had. He killed the goblins, a Git launcher. He got a face plant with the fanatic, but he killed the pump wagon, his orc shaman, and when he did charge into that Gargantula, he did 6 wounds by himself. And then the rest of the units just killed him off. But meanwhile, the Gargantula did manage to kill off my BSB in general. So those were the 2 MVPs. And that's it. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you had fun. We definitely had fun making it. It was one of our most fun games. It was definitely a bloodbath. And look forward to making more. Bye.